Hello, welcome to chair yoga. And so today we're going to be doing yoga seated in the chair, standing next to the chair. We'll use the chair as a prop. And we're also going to use the strap for some extra stretches today. Um, if you've got one of those, belt will work just as well. It doesn't have to be an official yoga strap. You will see that my feet are on blocks. This is because I am a short person. I am 4'10" and a half. So for me to have good form, sitting in my chair, not just like this, being ergonomically correct, but doing other things, I work better when I have a block under my feet, aka I'm bringing the floor up to me. If you're a taller person, you will not need blocks today because the floor is already up to you. I'm also sitting on a blanket for a little bit of comfort. That is an option, but not required. So we will go ahead and get started. So as you sit in your chair, and you want to make sure that your chair does not have wheels underneath, and preferably no arms on the side so that you're able to freely move from side to side with your arms and legs, then we will get going. So you want to sit more on the front edge of your chair. So you don't want to sit all the way back. This allows you to sit up just a little bit taller. We're going to zip up that front body, and I've just got my strap lying right across my lap here today. Good. Sitting up nice and tall, maybe a slight tuck in the chin. You can close your eyes. And we'll just settle in to a little bit of a breath pattern here. So as I inhale through my nose, I want to see if I can expand my rib cage. And slowly exhale, maybe engaging the abdominals just a little bit more. So my belly button's going to go in a little bit deeper towards that spine. Inhale, expand. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale, expand. And exhale, release. Good. Fingertips to the side, palms turning up with inhale, reach, 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 reach. You can look up at those hands. Exhale, bringing them down on heart center. Creating an intention for your practice. What would you like to give or receive? You can always dedicate this practice to yourself or someone else. I'm going to think about joy and the comforting aspect of that coziness that comes with this time of year. So, at the time of this recording, we're in December in Kentucky. It's a little bit chilly and damp outside. So, I've got my long sleeve shirt on today. I've also got a heater going in the background. Good. And then from here, we'll take that back up. Let's reach, reach, reach. Good. Let's get a side bend in here. So I'm going to take my left hand to the left side of my chair. I'm going to reach up really tall through the right side. And I'm going to get a side bend here. So knowing I'm not kind of doing this lean, I'm just getting a side bend. Good. Breathing into the side body and avoiding a front shoulder collapse. So can you open that up, trying to keep it in line with your hip as much as possible? And then using your obliques, your side abs, we're going to come all the way back up and reach. We'll take that to the other side. So right hand comes down, side bend to the right. Breathe and expand, and notice how this side compares to the other. Are you tighter? Is it easier or harder for you? And using your side abs will come up. Good. From here, I'm going to take my arms forward, and I'm just going to get some nice rotation here from the shoulders. Palms up, hands to the shoulders. And let's just move the shoulders forward and back. Forward and back. Good. And maybe some circles here if that would feel good to you. Good. And other direction. Good. And then once you're ready, good. Let's take this into a really gentle twist. So I'm going to take my left hand somewhere along this left side of my chair. So it can be the back, it can be the seat, wherever is comfortable for you to reach. My right hand's gonna take the outside of the left thigh. I'm nice and tall. We're twisting from length. And I'm gonna rotate here towards my left. Breathing and expanding. And then from here, I'm just going to gently release and come back center. We'll do that to the other side. So my right hand is going to come somewhere on this chair. Good. Left hand is going to come somewhere on the left thigh. We're lengthening, twisting from length, and gently rotate. Breathe and expand. And then we'll release and come back to center. Good. Let's take our strap. So I've actually have my strap and I'm going to fold it in half here. Good. You may or may not need to do that with yours. Good. And I'm going to hold the ends and I've got it nice and taut. So I'm going to take this up. Good. Now we're going to side bend again as you go to the left. Really tug. So it's going to feel a little bit different than that first one that we did. Breathing and expanding. And then coming up. Good. Now we're going to rotate. Rotate to the left. Pull that down. As you pull that down, roll the shoulders back. Maybe looking up. Again, this will feel a little bit different than that first twist we took. And then we're going to lift the straps back up, coming back to center. Good. We'll take that to the other side. So get a nice side bend towards the right, tugging here. I'm pulling here. Breathing, expanding. And then when you're ready, we'll come back up. We're going to rotate towards the right, pulling that down, rolling shoulders back, looking a little bit more behind you. And we'll come back up and come back to center. Now, from here, we're going to kind of move forward and back a little bit. So be mindful if you've got a high back on your chair. Be mindful if you've got a buckle or something like that on the end of your strap. Kind of hold that in so when we move forward and back, you don't have to worry about it swinging and hitting you in the face. So I've got a nice long grip between the pointer and the thumb. I'm just going to take that forward and back. And I'm working my own range of motion. Now, if you're someone that can take it all the way back there or want to try, you want to be able to keep the arms long when you do that. So if you're kind of finding that you're bending your elbows like this to get it back there, take a wider grip. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You just go where you can go. And now I want you to find your maximum stretch back here, which most likely won't be your maximum range of motion. So you just saw me take this down to my hips, but my maximum stretch is actually right here. So that's where I'm just going to stay for a moment. And then we'll take that back up and we'll take this back down. Time permitting, we may bring this back again. I'm just going to put this to the side, somewhere where it's not going to be in the way or get stepped on. And then from here, let's take a few moments and do a little bit of breath work since we're sitting nice and tall. And sometimes it's easier to sit in the chair than on the floor like a traditional class. So we're going to go through Ujjayi real quick, and then we're going to use that into a box breath. Okay, so the Ujjayi is the back of the throat constriction breath. That's the sound you make on the exhale, the inhale, or both. So to do it on the exhale, you're making an H-A, ha sound, but your mouth is closed. You're forcing that air up behind the throat and out the nose. So when I inhale to prepare and I do that on the next exhale, it sounds like this. Good. And there's a little bit of a toning in that abdominal region as well on that exhale. If you're doing it just on the inhale, you're creating an A8, ah sound on the inhale. So it sounds like this. Good. And then if you're incorporating them together, the full Ujjayi pranayama, it sounds like this. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. So if you've got that in your practice, you can do one of them or both. We'll incorporate that into the box breathing today. So we're going to do 4 rounds of 4. We'll inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold again for 4. 4 times. Okay. So some of these I might breathe with you with the Ujjayi. I can't talk and do that at the same time. So you'll see my fingers telling you where we are in the number. Okay. So from here, when you're ready, take a big exhale to prepare if you're using Ujjayi. Here we go. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. And these fingers are going to show us what round we're on. Good. So inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll do these with you. Inhale. Good. Inhale. And I think I didn't hold that one, but that's okay. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Return to normal breath. Good. Just take a little bit of neck stretches here. Good. All right. Let's come to standing. Standing. So I'm going to move my blocks out of the way here. Good. And I'm going to move my tea out of the way as well. And I'm going to take my chair sideways. Put the blanket to the side too. Okay. So different down dogs for different people, and it really depends on flexibility. If you need something a little bit easier, maybe you're a down dog, your hands are going to be at the top of the chair, and then you're going to take your feet back a little bit and just shift back. Maybe that's yours. Those of you that are a little bit more open, maybe your hands come to the seats and you can take your hips back and come a little bit deeper into that down dog. Let the knees bend in your down dog. My hips, knees, and toes are in relative alignment. I want to try and get my ears by my biceps wherever I'm at here. And just like in a floor down dog, could you turn your elbows up towards the ceiling here, working on that scapular stability and strength? Good. Now, once you're here, if that feels okay, you can start to step the feet back a little bit more. You can even take this into walking the dog. Bending one knee, lengthening the other. You can even just lift the heels and lower. That was a really luscious pop in my right ankle. Hopefully nobody heard that one. Yeah. And then from here, when you're ready, we're going to look forward and we're going to walk the feet back in. Good. Now again, position where you need to be. We're going to take this one into a plank. So most of you are probably going to want to have your hands on the seat for that one. But I'm just going to take my arms up and reach, 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 nice and tall, zipping up, Good, ears by the biceps, and I'm just gonna, I'm rolling here in a fold. If you've got osteoporosis, you won't look like that. Your knees are gonna bend. You're gonna keep a flat back. Take your hands to the chair, okay? So find the level, find the way that you need to get there. And then once you're there, good. Lengthen that spine if it's not already. Nice flat back. Exhale, you can bow, bending the elbows and the knees. Good, keeping that flat back again. I'm gonna lift back up, pressing through my feet. I'm gonna take my feet back behind me, and I'm looking for a nice plank here, okay? Now, some of you might be in a little bit of a different plank than me, but you're trying to look for length from the top of your head down to your ankle. And I'm just gonna press my heels back a little bit, and I'm pressing the chair away from me, so I'm not hanging in the shoulders. And I'm breathing. This is core work. This works both the front and back side of the body, works the front and back side of the leg. Most of the body is engaged here if you're planking well. Yeah. And then from here, I'm just going to step in just a little bit. And then with a long spine, take that back, find a little bit of a stretch. You can step it back, finding a little bit more of a better downward facing dog. And with the chair, it's real easy to just kind of collapse here into the chest like this. Try not to do that. Try to keep it nice and long. Breathe. Maybe Joy is cuddling up in front of a fire with a fluffy pet like a cat or a dog. Some of you out there have ferrets. Maybe you like to cuddle with them. Good. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, bend. Coming all the way up. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding your breath, your mountain, and your intention. Let's take this into a wide leg forward fold now, just to prepare the inner thigh. So again, if you're not really flexible yet, good. You're gonna have your hands on the top of your chair. Your feet are gonna come out wide. You're gonna step back to your own body's needs. And maybe this is your wide leg forward fold. Those of you that are a little bit more open and flexible, this is why I like working with the yoga chair, because it's easy to swing around and do different things. Maybe your hands are at the feet, your legs are long, and you can even maybe reaching forward here. Good. So again, ears are by the biceps, belly button is in, back is long. I'm pressing through the outer edges of my feet. You can have a micro bend in those knees. You're just feeling that nice stretch. Now, the more flexible you are, the wider you can take your feet, okay? So just kind of be mindful of that as well. Breathing. And once you're ready, good. I'm going to use my chair to assist me to come up. And I'm just going to try to heel toe in until it's safe for me to step my feet back to center. Good. So I'm feeling more open already. We're going to use the chair today for some standing warrior two and triangle stuff. So there are seated versions. I feature those in some of my other videos, but we're going to do a standing version today. So chair with warrior two, where you put your hand and how you do it, it's going to depend on your own body's flexibility. You can also come up against a wall if you need that for stability. And my heater is starting to make me hot, so I'm just gonna shed this top layer here. Apologies about that. Okay. So from here, good. You want to get in your good form first. So I'm going to start. My left leg is the one that's up against the wall. I'm going to start that leg being more forward, hip, knee, and toe track forward. My right leg is the one that's going to mindfully step back. Start with parallel railroad track here first. So everything's kind of facing forward. Then your right leg, your hip, knee, and foot are going to turn out about 45-ish degrees. Okay, it's about 45 degrees. So you want a heel to heel, heel to arch angle. If you need a little bit wider, you could take that out. This knee can be bent. So the nice thing about the chair is that you can kind of have the chair up against it so that your knee doesn't go beyond the angle or ankle, and kind of train yourself that way. Good. So once I'm here, good. I can leave a hand on this chair. Good. I'm going to take my front hip back though, with the torso only, turn it to the side. Good. And here's my little support. Good. Now other people, let me turn it more this way. I also like this chair too. I can stick my foot under there if I need it. Good. Maybe you don't need the chair, or you're weaning yourself to the chair, but you want that chair close by, just in case you need it. Good. And then you can find your warrior two from here. We'll look off the top of the front fingertips. Good. Hand can always come down if you need that. Yeah, everybody has to start somewhere. Yes. Yes. We're working hard here. And remember, as you train, it's more important for the back edge of the back foot to be grounded than for this front knee to be bent. So if you need to lengthen this front leg to make that work for you, make it work for you. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, good, we're going to take this into a triangle. So for me, I'm going to turn my chair around. Good. And I've got my chair forward of my left foot. And if you need to have a hand on it while you transition, that's okay. Otherwise, good. You're still in that nice warrior two position with your legs. Good. The front leg's going to be long though. Front hip's going to come back hip's going to come forward. I'm rooting into my feet, and I'm going to lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Maybe I choose to just be right here and not worry about the rest and just open. Maybe I can come down here and open up. Front hip will be back hip will be forward. And again, you can wean yourself by coming down here to see where you are. If you need to come deeper, you've always got this for support. And then when you're ready, looking at that front, looking at your chair, looking at that front foot, I'm going to put a bend in that front knee as I come up for a moment. Good. Now, from here, going into a pyramid variation, I'm going to use my chair for stability as I step my back foot in a little bit. I'm going back to parallel railroad track alignment. My back heel will not ground here, so I'm not trying to press it down. I do want a long spine here. Good. Front leg is long, but not locked. Good. And then I'm just going to get a nice fold in. So I've got the range where I can grab the back part of my chair. So that's where I'm going to grab. My belly button is in. Good. Now other options, if you're feeling like you're a little bit more open there, you can grab, the legs of your chair, kind of finding that deeper range. Find it where you need to find it. You can also practice stepping back a little bit farther. That will make it more challenging when you're ready. Breathe. And then when you're ready, good. I'm going to bend that front knee. I'm using my chair for stability as I step back in and coming all the way back up. Good. So my left side feels nice and open. Let's get into that right side. So I'm just going to take my chair to the right side. Good. So again, find your chair where you need to find it for your warrior two. So this tends to be my weaker side. So I'm just going to come over here. Good. So from here, holding on or not, it's your left leg that's going to go back this time. Good. Good. Find your parallel railroad track first. Good. Then your back leg is going to turn out 45-ish degrees. I actually have more range. I'm going to set this front foot forward. Good. And you can bend this front knee if that's appropriate. Again, you can use your chair as a guide to keep the knee over the ankle. Or if you don't need that, you can take your chair more forward and use it as balance. So front hip, this hip is going to come back hip's going to come forward. Hips are at an angle. try to turn the torso to the side without moving the hips. Good. In, reach. Good. So you can always come up against the wall here. Remember, your chair can also be a training tool. Experiment. Front knee can always be lengthened if we need to have help anchoring down that back foot. Find it where you need it. When you're ready, good. We'll lengthen that front foot. I'm going to use this for stability for my triangle. So I'm going to rotate back hip forward, front hip back. Good. And I'm going to lengthen. Good. Oh, I need to turn this around. Sorry about that. Again, use the chair, take it how you need it. Front hip's going to come back. Good. You can lengthen this arm out as well. Coming up. Again, it's always there's a training tool. You can always practice coming down here. If you feel like you're going to fall over, take your hand back up to your chair. And then once you're ready, looking down at that front foot, putting a bend in that front knee. Good. And stepping that foot forward. Going into the pyramid variation now. Good. So again, depending on where you are, hands might be on the back. They might be on the seat. Good. My right leg is the forward leg. My left leg is the one that's going to step back. I'm on that parallel railroad track position. Okay. So the farther you step back, the harder you might make it. Lengthen the torso. Good. Front hip comes back. Back heel doesn't ground. This might be enough. Or, you can come it here a little bit deeper. Good. You can experiment touching the floor or using the leg. Find it where you can find it. Breathe. Spine is long here, though. This is not a forward fold position. Belly button stays in. Return to breath. Return to joy. It's another thing of joy. I'm expecting my first grandchild in 2024. So I'm going to get to see Christmas through the eyes of a child again. Very, very excited. And then from here, once you're ready, we'll put a bend in that front knee, step that back foot forward. Good. And I'm going to step my feet back just a little bit here. And then I'm going to use that, for a nice little stretch, a little modified downward facing dog here. Breathe. Good. Now I'm still turning my elbows more forward so I get that engagement even here. And then when I'm ready, I'm going to come back up and step in a little bit closer. Good. We're going to take a tree pose with the chair and a grounded warrior 3 variation today. So for my tree, I'm going to turn this chair this way. So I have something to hold on to in case I need it. This can also be done up against a wall. So I'm going to take my right leg. It's going to be the supporting leg. That's going to be the side that your chair is on. Good. Hip, knee, and toe track forward. I'm zipping up the front body. Good. You can be here. You can be here. You can practice being up here. If you've got slippery pants, that may not work. You can also be more here. So find it where you need to find it. I'm going to be down on the calf today. Good. So you can hold on to the chair, press out of that hip. So here's hanging in the hip. You want to press out of that hip. Hand can be on the belly. You can have one at prayer, up high, out to the side. You choose. You can always test your balance. Did you let go, but knowing that chair's there to grab back onto? And breathe. So not everybody likes the snow, but I do. So maybe looking out your window and seeing nature's winter beauty of the trees covered in snow. the quietness when it snows. And when you're ready, good, we'll come out of there, shake out that supporting leg. Let's take that to the other side. I'm just gonna move my chair over here. So my chair is on my left side. My left leg's gonna be my balancing leg. Good. So again, zipping up, you choose where you need to be. Is it gonna be here, here, here? You just don't wanna be on the knee joint. Knees won't like that, and that's a bad habit practice to get into. You can be here. Can it be where you need to be? I'm gonna come back down here. And on this side, I'm just gonna let my arm come out. I'm growing taller, so I'm coming out of that hip. Belly button is in. And when you're ready, good. We'll carefully come out of there. Shake out that supporting leg. Grounded warrior three. So I'm gonna turn my chair back around. So in yoga, we do this with blocks. In vinyasa classes, we do it with blocks. And we're gonna do it with the chair. So what I want you to do, kind of lean forward, make sure your hands are on the chair first. Good. And your supporting leg, and for me right now, it's gonna be starting with my left leg. Have that left leg in the center part of your chair, okay? So my hands are here, my spine is long, maybe a little micro bend in this knee. Good. And I'm just gonna play with taking this foot back, and then maybe you can take it back a little bit more. So your right leg, those toes, knees, and hips are pointing down. Turning out is a different pose. So we're turning it down. And I'm pressing out of the chair. Now, if you're trying to graduate from the chair, but you still want warrior three, I would invest in some yoga blocks. That's the next step. And again, could you press out of the hip? And when you're ready, good. We'll take that foot down. Good. I'm going to come up. I'm going to shake out that supporting leg. So I'm just going to stay right here. We're just going to switch the feet. So here's my right leg. Good. And I'm going to kind of come down here just for support. Good. Hip, knee, and toe track forward. Good. I'm going to press out of that leg. My belly button is in. My spine is long. And then I'm going to play with how high I take that left leg. Toes, knees, and hips of that left leg. Track down towards the floor. And again, I want to try not to do this hanging thing in the hip. So really press up out of there. Breathe. And then once you're ready, good. We'll take that back down. Good. I'm going to take my feet just a little bit wider here and a little bit farther back. And just one more time, just get a nice little modified down dog. Maybe kind of a modified wide-legged forward fold. My feet are a little bit wider than down dog stance. And then from here, I'm just going to shift forward and walk my feet in. We're going to come back to seated. So I'm going to leave my chair right like that, I think. I'm going to bring my blanket back in here. And my blocks back in here. Okay. So from here, I'm going to sit on the edge of my chair. And I'm going to take my feet long in front of me. And we're going to come to a seated forward fold here. So there's different things you can do. You see that my feet are completely flat. It will probably be a deeper stretch if you point your toes back towards your face. So that's just going to kind of be up to you. If you have osteoporosis, you're going to keep your spine long the entire time. And it's okay if you bend the knees just a little bit if you need to. Okay. Those of you that don't have that and are good, you can take your arms up. You can take your arms here and slide them down. I'm going to take my arms up. Good. After you fold forward with the long back, you can round coming into that seated fold. Now remember, osteoporosis, and there's a few other back issues. You're going to keep your spine long so you won't come as deep. Breathe into it. Come back to your intention of joy. So a type of coziness that I like, especially now that I'm older, I like a cooler air, but nice and warm under my comforter with my dogs. So cozy under the covers, but coolness of the air hitting the face. And then from here, when you're ready, just walk your hands up the legs and come all the way up. Good. We're going to do a hip opener here. So for this, because I'm short, I'm going to bring my blocks back in here. Taller people won't need to do that. Good. All right. And then I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to do this for different bodies. So if you don't have any limitations about picking up your foot, crossing it over the ankle, and just sitting right here, then you can just go ahead and do it that way. Those of you that can't quite get there that way, your right leg is going to come long, okay? You're going to start by just crossing your ankle. This is my left ankle over that knee, and then maybe just kind of pulling it up. Good. So that might be you. And then you can fold forward. That's going to give you a stretch, or pulling that knee in and folding forward there. So get there in the way that's best for your body. But I can bring my ankle up here, so that's where I'm going to go. Okay. Now I'm taking my left toe towards my left knee. For a lot of people, just gentle presses into this thigh is going to be enough for you to get into this hip. Others, maybe it's a gentle press here. Make sure it's the thigh, not the knee joint. And with a long spine folding forward will give you that deeper stretch. So find it where you need to find it. This is a nice one to do after a long walk. Or if you have trouble being supine on your back, this is a nice way to get this one. There's also a belly down version and that on the back version of it. If you want to think about it that way, you could. This is in the tree family, hip opener family. Good. So I'm just going to kind of undo, and I'm just going to shake out that left leg. Good. So same thing on the other side. Again, if you need to take that leg long, kind of start small, carefully drag it up that way, and then bend the knee. That's fine. Otherwise, you can pick up that right ankle, put it right over the left knee. Toes are going to point towards that knee. And again, different people are different on different sides. This might be enough for you. You might take your right hand and just do gentle presses into the thigh. Okay. Or with a long spine, maybe you fold forward. Find yours. And then gently we'll come back up. Gently undo in the way that's best for you. Good. And maybe shake out that leg. Okay. So I'm going to turn my seat back around forward. Back in. And then I'm going to grab my strap here. I'm going to bring that back in. Now again, I'm seated to the front edge of my chair, so my back is not up against the back, so I'm not slouching or anything like that. Good. So we're going to open up the front shoulders here. And actually, I should have stayed the other way. Hang on a second here. We'll come back to this in a moment. All right. So from here, good. I'm going to take this behind me. Okay. Now, different alignments for different people. Some of you are going to be fine with hands and arms in line with the shoulders. Some of you are going to be able to work those hands closer together. But from here, good, I'm going to press down. When I do that, I'm going to roll my shoulders back. You might keep your arms down. You might lift back up a little bit. It just depends on your own range. Just kind of find your range. Belly button is still in here. We're breathing. And then when you're ready, good. You can bring that down. Good. I'm going to release that strap. I'm all done with that. Now I'm going to put my chair back the way that I had it. Okay. And as we sit, good. We're just going to kind of go back to where we started before we come into Shavasana. So sitting up nice and tall, take a big inhale and reach. We're going to get a side bend to the left. So left hand's going to come down, maybe pressing into the chair, and just get that nice side bend over. Notice how it feels to you now versus that first one that we did. And when you're ready, good, using your abs to come up, reach, other side, right hand comes down, press that right hand into the chair, get another side bend over. And again, notice and compare how it feels this time versus the first time. And then we'll come back up. Good. Going again into the twist. So my right hand's going to come to the outside of the left thigh. I'm nice and tall. Left hand's going to come somewhere to the side or behind me. Good. And then I'm just going to rotate towards my left. Maybe you can take a different grip. So it's okay, it's okay, but not, depending on how you do it. To press into your chair for your twist, what you don't want to do is crank the low back. So if pressing, pushing, pulling on your chair causes you to crank, then you want to not do that. And then we'll gently release, coming back to center. Other side. So left hand's going to come to that right thigh somewhere. Good. Right hand comes somewhere behind you. Lengthen and rotate. And it might be the same. It might be a little bit different. My back is more open now than we were in the beginning, so I'm able to twist a little bit deeper than we did the first time without cranking through my back. And then when you're ready, we'll come back to center. Good. Just for a moment, taking the hands to the knees. If you're able to go into extension, take your chest forward, rolling shoulders back, looking up. And then if you're able to go into flexion, keeping hands right here, arms are long, kind of around that spine. A little gentle cat-cow here. And then coming back up to a seat. So Shavasana, you are welcome to stay with me in a seated position. If you would like to move the chair out of the way and lie on your back with your feet up in the chair for a little bit of a different style of relaxation, feel free to do that. Otherwise, I'm going to sit here nice and tall. I'm going to roll my shoulders back a few times. Good. And just kind of settle in. So coming back to that intention, your own that you made, or little cozy things that you do this time of year to bring you joy. And maybe it's not cozy. Maybe sledding brings you joy. Playing in the snow brings you joy. Always, always appropriate. And then from here, wherever you are, gently bring in some deeper breaths. And now if you took the 4 position, you're welcome to stay down there or come back up to a seat. Otherwise, if you're still down there, gently take your head and neck from side to side. Those of you that are seated, gently take your head and neck from side to side. Wherever you are, you can wiggle fingers and toes. And those of you that are still on your back, carefully take the legs off the chair, roll over to your side. You're welcome to stay there or come back up to a seat on the floor or in the chair. Those of you that are seated in the chair, you can open your eyes. Good. Arms are going to come up. We're going to reach, reach, reach. Good. And I'm just going to kind of take my legs just a little bit long here. And I'm just reaching. Good. And maybe pointing and flexing through the feet, bending and stretching through the hands. Maybe roll around here. And then when you're ready, good. Coming back, let's take a big inhale and reach. Touching palms together. As you bring those hands down, stop those thumbs right at the center part of the forehead for good and true thought. To the lips for good and kind words. And to the heart for open and loving hearts. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted. No gain is ever reversed. May you be safe. May you stay well. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you find cozy joy in this winter season. Namaste.